Welcome to another episode of Just Add Seasoning. So, the Kim Jones Air Max 95s didn't sell out in any colorway or any size in the end, which was a bit of a surprise to me. I suppose it depends whether you know Kim Jones as the artistic director from Louis Vuitton, from Fendi Women's Wear line, from Dior, or whether you just hear the name and think, I don't know who that is. I suppose the other thing, or the main thing that meant that the Air Max 95s by Kim Jones didn't sell out this time is because of the price point. At £190, that is a hard price point to get to, for a personal especially. And then, of course, it makes it harder on the resale as well. I picked up a pair of the Kim Jones 95 in Vault because that colorway only dropped in the UK. The reason I picked those up is because, you know what, if a lot of people from outside the UK want the Vault ones, fair enough. If not, Nike are doing 60-day free returns at the moment, so I can always send them back. I would keep them for a personal, but for £190, I can think of better personals. In fact, I could probably get a couple of pairs of personals for £190 that I would rather have than the Kim Jones 95s. Let's jump into the upcoming tab and see what sneakers we've got coming up. So first of all, we've got the Air Structure, which is dropping in a men's colourway and a women's colourway. That is dropping on Saturday the 20th of March at 8 AM in the UK. This, you can see here, men's sizes is dropping 5.5 to size 13, UK sizing, and women's 2.5 to 9.5. So if we jump into this, the Air Structure launched in 1991 as the Air Structure Triax 91. This colourway that we got here in the men's shoe is actually one of the OG colourways, which is why they call it here the Air Structure OG. The Air Structure line was designed for runners, specifically with runners in mind, and it was designed for a certain injury that runners used to get, which was called overpronation. And basically I've looked into overpronation, and it's just another way of saying stopping runners from rolling their ankles whilst they're running. This isn't the first time that Nike have retroed the shoe since 1991, but they've only retroed it once since then, and it wasn't exactly a hit. They first retroed the Air Structure Triax 91 in 2008. In 2008, it didn't exactly get great reviews though, because the materials they used in the toe box were apparently quite thin, flimsy materials that led to a lot of people finding that the toe box on the shoe was collapsing. I'm getting serious retro vibes from this shoe though, obviously because it's a remake of a 1991 shoe, but I just love the infrared and the teal. I love the fact it's got a mixture of breathable mesh to keep deep breathing and bits of suede on the shoe as well. I don't know if we've got some close-ups here. Yeah, you can see bits of suede on the side there. The swoosh looks like it's suede as well, suede along the back. And that's, if you had an all mesh shoe, it wouldn't look that premium, but just adding that little touch of suede, I think, does give it a slightly more premium look. For me and my style, this is just the perfect everyday workhorse pair of personals, even if they're not worth anything on StockX. But being the first time they've retroed these since 2008, and it's the 30th anniversary of the launch of the Air Structure Triax 91, I think these could do well on StockX. The only problem I have with these, using them for a personal, is this sole. I don't know if there's any bigger pictures, no. So this sole, just, to me, it looks too basic. It doesn't look grippy enough. I suppose we all became used to the super grippy soles that we find on Nike skate shoes, and of course Nike basketball shoes. So this sort of leaves something to be desired for me. But styling wise, absolutely fantastic. I really love the look of this shoe. Let's have a quick look through the women's colourway. For obvious reasons, this colourway isn't for me. It's a women's shoe. It's in pink. You've got to be a really bold guy to pull off wearing a pink shoe. Although I did quite like the Nike SB Pink Pigs. I think they were dunks, possibly, that they released about a month ago. But they were more of a peachy pink. But yeah, this shoe, if you are a female viewer, might be for you. Cool. Let's jump into StockX. So let's have a quick look at the retro of this shoe, or the retro of the men's shoe, which is this one here. You can see it's yellowed quite a lot over the years. The sales range on this is between £60 to £211, so it's very up and down. The only thing I would say about this is that it looks like it's very, very rare that a 2008 actually appears on StockX. As I said, there was that problem with the collapsing toe boxes. That retro wasn't the most desirable, because although a lot of people would have wanted that design, they wouldn't have wanted the problems that came with the toe box. But I like the look of this, even with the yellowed out look to it. But let's have a look at the new version. Cool. The Air Structure OG. So far, the highest bid on these is a US 10.5, which is a UK 9.5. That would get £118. You take home £103.25. So you wouldn't make a profit on that as it stands. On the lower end, you've got a load of different low offers across various sizes. What I would say about this is that the Air Structure doesn't drop in the US until March 30th. So there's a lot of time for hype to build, especially in the US, which is the biggest market for Nike, for StockX, for all of that. So considering the price point of these, the retail price is only £115, I think it is worth a shot buying them, especially whilst Nike have got 60-day returns at the moment because of coronavirus and whatnot. I'm going to go in for the draw for them, for sure. The fact that it's in a draw says to me that Nike either know that it's going to be really popular or that there's really limited quantities. And as I say, I think prices will go up when closer to the American draw. Okay then, back in the sneakers app. The next shoe we've got, I think, drops on the 25th of March. The reason I say I think is because it's not currently in the sneakers app. When I was researching these sneakers earlier in the day, a sneaker popped up on the sneakers app for the 25th. It's since disappeared. The last time this happened was with the London Grey Jordan 1 Zoom Comforts. You might remember I was actually recording the last time this happened, so I managed to get footage of it in the sneakers app before it disappeared. So I would suggest that this sneaker that I'm about to mention will almost definitely launch on the 25th in a draw, because that's the details I saw. That shoe is this one here. I managed to favourite the shoe, and the one you can see here right at the top left hand corner is the Jordan 1 Rust Shadow. So I can't, when I tap on it, actually view this sneaker, which is a shame because obviously they've taken it off, but it is still in my favourites. The only way I can find to show you the details on this shoe is by looking at the Sneakers Malaysia website. So if I go across to that, here we are in Nike Sneakers. This is the web browser, so I can see the Malaysian version of the app. And here's the description for it. The Jordan 1 Rust Shadow, swipe through the pictures. I really, really like the look of this shoe. I like it because it's a Jordan 1, and I like it because it's a new colorway on a Jordan 1, which just gets rarer and rarer these days. The midsole on this, see if you can find a picture. You might be able to just about tell, but the midsole on this is in a sail color, like the off-white, they call it sail, rather than a bright white color, which I think just complements this shoe so well. The Nike tag on the tongue, let's see if we can find a picture of that. You can see a little hint of it there. Oh wow, and you can't see it anywhere else. So yeah, let's zoom in at that. So the Nike, it is a Nike Air tag, even though the laces are covering it, is in this sort of washed out green, but it really, really works. It works with the color scheme. It's got this stitching around to create the box for the tongue tag. The whole colorway for me just looks fantastic. The color on the back of the shoe here is called Light Army. To me, this material looks like a sort of, even though it's quite pixelated here, when I saw it the first time in the app, it does look like a, here we go, you can see better here. It looks like a sort of nubuck or a suede, something like that, probably a nubuck leather, compared to obviously the more shiny leather that you can see up here. And finally, we got to talk about that shade of brown. It's, for me, I'd call that like a metallic brown. It almost looks like a darker brown copper material, like copper pipes, especially around here in the toe box. You can just see that almost patinaed look. Now I say patina because in StockX it's not called the Air Jordan 1 Rust Shadow, This is called the Air Jordan 1 Patina. So whilst we're at it, let's jump into StockX and see what's happening. Okay, so here it is. Currently, the highest bid is a US 12.5 or UK 11.5. That would get you £307. You take home £268.63. This shoe retails at 140 UK pounds. So there's definitely money to be made there. On the lower end, we've got a US, well, actually we've got a US 4, 4.5, and 5, which is the same as the UK 3, 3.5, and 4 for £105. Now, obviously, at a retail of £140, you'd lose money on that. But with it being a Jordan 1, and with it being a new colourway, and the fact that it's a really good-looking colourway, I think this will sell definitely above retail. It's definitely worth entering the draw for. There's money to be made here for sure. The dilemma you're going to have with this shoe is that as soon as you get it in, you're not going to want to let it go, because this is just such a good looking Jordan 1. So that's almost everything we can talk about today. Remember that over on Adidas on March 20th, the Yeezy Boost 350 V2s are dropping in the Ash Pearl colorway, which I definitely like the look of. Thank you very much for watching. See you around.